Hey guys, I wasn't planning on recording anything today, although I do have some stuff I need to talk about, but I'm still, I've been in a weird energy this week. I don't know why. But anyway, so I just had a client in my twin flame community ask us to watch this TikTok video and give our opinion. And this video was this coach who has like a lot of followers. I don't remember the exact number, but 14,000, something like that. It's a guy. And he was telling everybody not to praise your man, to be in your feminine energy, and you are only meant to receive. You are not meant to give. And it was some of the worst advice I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so appalled that I had to record a video about it. I cannot believe that this guy I haven't seen any of his other videos, but I cannot believe this guy has so many followers and he's saying shit like that. Like, what? I don't even think that comes from psychology, let alone spirituality, but he's talking about the wounded masculine, which is more of a spiritual terminology, which makes me wonder if he thinks he's giving spiritual advice. And I just want to be like, you need to shut the fuck up because you're giving really bad advice to people. Can I just say as quickly as possible, hopefully, that, but from both my psychology degrees as well as my spiritual background now, everybody needs love. Like, it is a core need, not just want, need. Like, do you know that there are studies, God knows why, probably because these were infants in orphanages, so it's not like they did this to children, but there are studies that have proven that infants who do not receive like affection and love will die. Or maybe they didn't let them get to that point. Maybe I don't remember. We're talking about 10 years ago in college, okay? I don't remember the details of the study. But they one group of infants, they provided their basic survival needs. So they fed them, changed them, did what they needed for basic survival. And the other infants, they also, held them, nurtured them, cared for them, gave them forms of love and affection. The infants who only had the basic survival treatment, we're suffering. We're suffering from neglect and they weren't growing appropriately, and some of them may have died. I don't remember for sure, but at the very least came close to it. Hold that thought. And the infants that received the affection and the love in combination with the basic survival needs, they were able to thrive more. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't the same as being in a normal home, but they were able to thrive more rather than suffer like the other infants. And they proved that love is a necessity. It is a psychological necessity. Okay. This is also why I encourage divine feminines as well as divine masculines. It is not only divine masculines who are keeping themselves in relationships that they are not meant to be in anymore, that relationships that were meant to be temporary. You cannot stay happy in a relationship that is no longer fulfilling you, that no longer has love. Then you are going to be in a different mental health state, because you will not truly be happy, and then you will not be able to provide for your kids in the way that you are meant to, because you are not really happy, let alone if you add in abusive or any similar behavior from the other person. So anyway, going back to the main point of it is just absolutely absurd to think that you should never praise your man, praise your partner, or show them love in that way. It's just so appalling. I'm speechless. Any person, whether they are male or female, any divine feminine, any divine masculine, they're going to be, when they are healed, they're in a balance of both energies. They're in a balance of both giving and receiving. It should not be stated that feminine only receive and men only give. I understand that men have a feeling of they want to be the givers, and there's nothing wrong with that. They can be the givers. However, it's not exclusive. They're not the only givers. The feminines give as well. They give in love and affection, and they can give in gifts too if they want to. But anyway, point being that anyone who is balanced and healed, sorry, I reversed that. Anyone who is healed is balanced in those energies, and it's called the balance of the masculine and feminine energies. You have that balance within, and you have that balance in the connection and the relationship, okay? And like you as a twin flame and as a divine feminine, you can help heal your twin, your divine masculine, of his core wounds, usually pertaining to self-worth, and abandonment and stuff like that. You can help him heal those wounds by showing him that love, showing him that, or by giving him praise and showing him love in that way. If he isn't receiving love, it's going to take him longer to heal those wounds. If you're showing him that love, it's going to be easier for him to heal and open up to it. To add one more thing to that, if you're also dealing with a twin who is in a toxic or abusive karmic relationship, which is very common for twin flames, that's just even more reason why they need that praise, because that person, that karmic partner, is treating them in a way to diminish their self-worth. They're criticizing them and attacking their character and making them feel even more unworthy of love. There's various ways that it can happen. More than likely, it's emotional and psychological rather than physical abuse, especially for men, because it's, even though women can be abusive physically also, it's more likely that a man even tolerating it, it's because it's subtle enough that they don't realize that it's abuse. So emotional and psychological. But they're saying things to them, talking to them in condescending ways, making criticisms and remarks to them, making them feel bad about themselves. And all of this is just continually provoking the wounds that they need to heal in the first place. Their self-worth wounds, their abandonment wounds, all of those core wounds that the majority of divine masculines have make them feel unlovable and unworthy. And this is what holds them back from their twin flame. So when you are dealing with a situation where this disgusting, toxic individual is treating your twin like that, the more love you can give them to counteract that, the more you're going to help them be able to heal. And maybe you could say the term enable them to heal, but you know what? Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves to know that they deserve love. We're all the same at a core level, and it's the choices that we make and lots of other factors that turn us into who we are, how we behave. I'm not going to discuss those karmic individuals right now because that's another topic. But, your twins, anybody who feels that way, like, they do deserve love, and they need to be shown that and believe that, and not running from it because they don't feel like they deserve it, and their karmic partners are making them feel like they don't deserve it. So this is why I tell you, don't also, poke those wounds. Do the opposite. Show them unconditional love. Show them all the ways that they deserve love. Praise them and help boost up their self-esteem in those wounds so that they are ready for you. Funny how I didn't see it coming into this lesson also, but it does kind of bring it back to some of my core, points that I've made recently. You are justified, divine feminine, in how you feel and your frustrations. And yeah, I know that your wounded twin is behaving in a way that is upsetting you sometimes, and it's legitimate. However, if you are attacking your twin, and yes, I am using the word attacking. If you are attacking your twin, saying, you do this wrong, you do that wrong, you're treating me like this, you're treating me like that, and blah, 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 etc., etc., it's just reinforcing his core wounds, their core wounds of unworthiness and not deserving you. They are not treating you badly because they are trying to hurt you. They are functioning based on an entire lifetime of conditioning of whatever happened in their childhoods, and if they were abandoned in any capacity. It doesn't have to be completely physical abandonment. It can be emotional abandonment as well, for various reasons. If they were abandoned in any capacity, then they feel unworthy of love, and then if they also have a toxic karmic partner treating them like crap and telling them everything that's wrong with them, and telling them and treating them in a way that makes them feel unworthy of a true real relationship or true real love, then they don't feel like they deserve you. And that's what you're seeing in their behavior, that you're seeing the conditioning. You're seeing their lifetime of conditioning. You're not seeing who they are at a true core level. And if you add on to that with more attacks, more of, I don't like the way you treat me, you're just making them feel more undeserving of you. So it might feel counterintuitive to a lot of people to feel like, well, what about how I feel? Don't I get to stand up for myself and how I feel and my needs and my wants? But those are discussions that you two can have down the road when you're both healed and ready. In the meantime, while your divine masculine is healing, provoking those wounds is only going to lengthen the process. Or not giving praise to your twin, like that guy suggested, is only going to lengthen the process. Like if they are on their own trying to heal all of this stuff on their own, it's going to take a really long time. If you are only showing that unconditional love and acceptance, it will help them heal a little faster. So yeah, you're going to go through a phase of it feeling not fair, of it feeling like, how come like I have to, I guess you could say, suck it up and, be the bigger person and not focus on my needs. However, that won't be forever. When the relationship heals, when you both heal and you come back together and the relationship is more balanced, you will be able to discuss that stuff, and your twin will be able to make things right with you. In fact, they likely know and realize all of this stuff anyway, and they will naturally work on it and fix it with you and make things right with you. But honestly, like, this is just how it is. On the twin flame journey, the divine feminine takes the lead, because I'm just going to be blunt about this. The divine feminine is the stronger one and is the more aware one as well. The divine feminine is able to consciously go through this process of healing. The divine masculine is more stubborn and is fighting the healing process, really because they don't properly understand everything that's going on, that has happened to them in their lives and what's going on presently. And they're not consciously going through this process. Spirit is dragging them through this process. So the divine feminine leads, the divine masculine is pulled along. And divine feminine is just the stronger one at this stage of the process. It will balance out and even out to where they're equally as strong. But that's why the divine feminine has to choose to put both of their best interests first for the connection. Put their divine masculine's healing. I guess you could say prioritize their divine masculine's healing. And actually, divine feminine, you're aware enough to heal yourself, to not need the behavior of a divine masculine in order to heal. So you don't need him to change in order to heal yourself. But your divine masculine does need your unconditional love and forgiveness and acceptance to heal, because he's not doing it from an aware, conscious place like you are. So yes, divine feminine, it might not seem fair all the time, but it won't always be that way. And you do need to step up for your masculine and put his healing first, and prioritize giving him that love over criticizing while he's wounded. And honestly, that's just the way that I see it for the twin flame journey. who knew this would keep evolving? But hopefully these are my last thoughts. Okay, and I'm just going to be like kind of bluntly honest here real quick, okay? If you, Divine Feminine, are stuck in that mindset of the me-centered focus of your perspective only, and you're not able to see your Divine Masculine's perspective, and you're not able to see the higher perspective, you are still very much in your ego center, okay? This journey is a full-on awakening process and healing process, and it is the embodiment of the other perspectives. You know, in the process of healing, you're healing and balancing the masculine and the feminine energies within each of you, which I was mentioned in the first video about every healed individual has both gives and receives and has that balance of both masculine and feminine. But it's also balancing it in the connection, and it's also being able to see everything from the multiple perspectives. The neutral perspective and the balanced perspective is the higher one, where you're able to see all aspects and not only focus on yourself and not only focus on your experiences. So if you are not able to do that, then you're still in the ego center and you have a lot of healing work to get through as it is. And, you know, like I said, that's just a blunt fact. It's not to say that your perspective doesn't matter. Your perspective does matter. Everybody's perspective matters. Your perspective, Divine Feminine, matters just as much as Divine Masculine's perspective matters. But because of how this journey is and how it functions, the Divine Feminine heals first and holds space for the masculine to get through his side. And you naturally heal through that process, realizing that you don't need the Divine Masculine's behaviors in order to heal. And then as you two heal and balance out everything within yourselves as individuals, when you come back together, you will be able to have that healthy relationship and you will be able to address anything from the past. But the goal of the journey is achieving that higher perspective, neutral, balanced viewpoint and standpoint where you're not all focused on my perspective. You're shifting away from the ego center, you're turning that off, dialing it down, and you're only listening to the perspective of your higher self, which is where your spiritual guidance comes from and is that higher spiritual perspective as well. And this is also different from psychology. Psychology is ego center based and emotion based, and this is spiritual based, 5D based, and not an intuitive center based. This is actually something that I had some epiphanies about in the past week, which was part of what I was talking about that I need to figure out how to articulate better. So I guess we're going with it. But like I was saying, I came to realize that psychology, which is missing the spiritual aspects, is very much focused on your emotions and your ego center and your individual 3D experiences. But the spiritual awakening process that the twin flame journey is about, as well as many other non-twin flame journey spiritual awakenings, that is all about the 5D, the seeing beyond yourself, seeing from that higher perspective, from your higher self, from a place where you can see everyone as perfect, flawed but perfect, because you're seeing them from their core level. And so it's very different, and it's a different type of healing. Any spiritual healing or spiritual coaching is going to come from that perspective rather than the 3D base of psychology and therapy. But one of the other things that I wanted to say was that, I can already see that people who are divine feminines, who are very still in that 3D ego center place, they are going to struggle with what I'm saying and what I'm teaching, because basically, like, their inner child, their wounded inner child is kind of like, no, I demand recognition. I don't want to see things from that higher perspective. I don't want to have understanding for all those other things, because right now I want the focus to be on me and my feelings. My feelings are valid. Yes, your feelings are valid. But this is what this journey is about. It's about moving beyond that and seeing all perspectives and having that unconditional love and acceptance and forgiveness. So it's that if you're in that stage, it's a tough spot, and I do have compassion for you because I have been there. I remember what it was like. I just have evolved beyond that. So I stay in that higher perspective because that's where the goal is for you to end up. You basically have to teach yourself how to separate your emotions from your from those higher perspectives and from your spiritual guidance. It's that's either third eye based or crown chakra based, basically. But yeah, the main thing is about separating your emotions and your ego center from your intuitive center and your higher self, your spiritual guidance, your higher perspectives, all of that stuff. So being able to do that is what allows you to be able to hold space for your divine masculine successfully. Okay? I wasn't expecting to go into all this right now, but it ended up all tying together. I'm still going to talk about this separately, focusing on surrendering. This is all about the realizations I had in the past week, and it was like almost the definition of surrendering was put into my mind. But just to like actually wrap up what I was talking about here. Basically, as you go through your healing process, Divine Feminines, you will be able to separate your emotions more. And as you can separate your emotions more, which is also, like I said, like dialing down, turning off the ego center so you're not so triggered and emotionally affected by everything because you're separating your emotions, then you can stay more connected to your higher self, your intuitive voice, your spiritual guidance, however that is coming to you, whether it's coming to you directly or coming to you through readings and others. And then also the higher perspective, the bigger picture of everything. When you're able to put those in boxes and separate them, not only does that help you with just managing the journey, getting through everything, being able to hold space for your masculine even while you are healing, it is also how you surrender. You surrender by being able to separate your emotions from your higher perspective, higher self. I keep trying to figure out which is the best way to say that. Which way do you guys prefer for me to say it that you connect with the most? Intuitive voice, ego center versus intuitive voice, emotions, 3D emotions versus higher knowing. Anyway, the more you can separate those two, put them in boxes and separate them, the more you are able to surrender. And the more you're able to surrender, the easier it is to get through the journey, and also the less triggered you will be, and the less hurt you will feel. Like when you're all in the 3D ego center, like everything hurts. Like the separation hurts, the karmic relationship hurts, your divine masculine's behavior hurts, like everything hurts. When you have when you're able to separate out the 3D center, the ego center, I'm mixing up words now. When you're able to separate out your emotions and your ego center and focus on your intuitive center and your higher knowing and understanding, that's when you are able to let go of the pain, of release all of that, release the fears, and not hurt so much, and you're able to surrender and go about your life taking care of yourself, healing, and living your life happily while you wait for your twin to be ready. That's how you do it. That's it for now.